Hey you guys, today I want to talk about ways in which we can decrease our cortisol levels in order to stay in a fat burning zone. So cortisol is released from the adrenal gland, and it's a stress hormone that in the presence of elevated cortisol levels, it is very, very, very difficult to burn fat. Okay, so if you're struggling with weight loss, you may want to listen up here. And there are so many different ways that we can make sure that we're decreasing our cortisol levels, and we can do it naturally. So number one is make sure that we are getting the proper amount of sleep. Now, we should be getting 6 to 8 hours, ideally 7 hours of sleep, if not 8. And if we're not getting enough sleep, then we are increasing cortisol levels and decreasing human growth hormone. Now, human growth hormone is the complete opposite of cortisol. In the presence of human growth hormone, we are able to burn fat. It's the number one fat burning hormone in our body. So as HGH goes up, cortisol goes down, and it works hand in hand. So the number one way of increasing that and lowering cortisol is through proper sleep. If we're not getting enough sleep, we are actually increasing our cortisol levels by up to 50%. So that is huge, and that's something very simple that we can tweak in our day-to-day routine and benefit tremendously when it comes to weight loss. Number two, increase the exposure of sun. Now, this doesn't mean I want everyone to go out and get skin cancer. We want to be safe about it, but the vitamin D that we get naturally and organically from the sun is going to help lower the cortisol levels, and ideally it's going to help us increase our ability to lose the weight and burn fat. Now, in those days, the times, if you're in wintertime and you live in Columbus, Ohio, like myself, then you need to supplement with some vitamin D3. But if you can get it naturally through the sun, that is perfect. They say about 10 minutes a day will do you wonders. And it makes sense. People that are out, and they're looking great in a bikini, usually the people that live in the southern states that are exposed to sun have better bodies. I mean, I hate to say it, but it usually is the case. Number three, intermittent fasting. So if you look at this side of the board, I have my Find Your Balance community that is doing intermittent right now. So they're doing intermittent fasting. It's our challenge for March. And if you guys are curious about that, please reach out to me. I would love you to join this group because it's an amazing group of people. But with intermittent fasting, again, we increase our human growth hormone and we decrease cortisol, okay? And we are lowering insulin levels because in the presence of insulin, we cannot burn fat. So when we lower insulin, we lower cortisol, we are still being able to be efficient enough to burn fat. So intermittent fasting is ideal. Number four, walking and not marathoning, okay? This is crucial to everyone out there that thinks that the longer the better, because it's not the case. We need to work smarter, not harder. And for those people out there that are marathon runners, ultra triathletes, Ironmans, all those things, if you look at the body types, not everyone's skinny, and it's because in long durations of exercise, your body's under stress. It's in a state of stress. Therefore, cortisol is a stress hormone. So we are producing a lot of cortisol, and that is going to make it very, very difficult for weight loss. So if your goal is weight loss, marathon running is not the way to do it. Instead, we need to turn to the high-intensity interval training and heavy lifting because that's going to increase human growth hormone, decrease cortisol, and we're going to be in a fat burning zone. So the people that are doing the long distance exercising, steady state, that is not being efficient with your time, and it is not going to be ideal for weight loss. Number five, potassium. Potassium is such a missed mineral, and we need at least 4,700 milligrams in a day, up to 6,000 if we have other issues like insulin resistance, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, things like that. So that equates to about 7 to 10 cups of green fibrous vegetables. If you are not consuming a big salad in a day, which that's the easiest way to get them in, throw them in a smoothie, put a whole bunch of greens, spinach, chard. Greens are key to getting that potassium up. But I also have a list over here, avocado, spinach, white beans. So the lighter the bean, the higher the potassium. acorn squash, spaghetti squash, butternut squash, that's all within that category of acorn squash. Bananas are very, they're high, but in terms of looking at the other things, it's not an ideal source of potassium because we are consuming so many carbs, so much sugar, and that's what we're trying to stay away from. So it's counterproductive if, yes, we're increasing potassium, but we're increasing our carbs and our sugars. Who wants to do that, right? So it's, you don't have to stay away from bananas every day, all day, but know that one full avocado is our half of our daily requirement for potassium. You're going to have to eat 15 bananas in order to reach our daily amount. So 7 bananas you'd have to eat. Think about how many carbs, how many grams of sugar in 7 bananas. And then avocado, just healthy fats, very, very, very good source of potassium. Mushrooms are a very good source of potassium as well. If you're not one that wants a smoothie or a salad, then saute some mushrooms and spinach in a skillet with some coconut oil and call it a day. You're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck there. It shrinks up. You're gonna be able to eat a lot more in one little sitting window. Potassium is key. Number 6, acupuncture. So anything that is lowering our stress. So that's why the walking's good, because you're going out, you're breathing in the air, you're seeing the scenery. So good for lowering cortisol levels, just like acupuncture or massage. Any kind of therapy that is putting you in a Zen state of mind is key to lowering cortisol. And the last thing, remove the stressful people in your life, you guys. We all have stressful people in our lives. I know it's difficult to get rid of all of them, but it is key to put yourself in non-stressful or stress-free situations as much as we can. Because if we are totally consumed by people that are stressful type of individuals, we are going to take on that stress and we are going to become stressed, and we're going to produce more and more and more cortisol, and we're never going to be able to burn the fat and lose the weight. So hopefully this helped you. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to me and we'll talk very soon.